Welcome one, welcome all. I am Mark Paulda, a professional photographer. I have been in the photography business for well over 20 years. I want to help you succeed so you can earn money with your camera. With every episode, I will offer you sound advice so you can be part of the 15% of aspiring photographers who succeed. If you are looking for help to turn your passion for photography into a successful business, you have come to the right place. I have got the answers. My weekly episodes will help you understand how to market yourself, how to build a profitable business, and best business practices. No more feeling lost. You do not have to go it alone. Join my audio podcast and start taking my advice on turning your hobby into a profitable business. You will get access to a professional photographer and the best practices that I have learned and experienced over the years. If you have questions along the way, definitely email me. mark@markpaulda.com. You are also invited to join my photography success text community. Send me a text. 915-226-0959. If you are outside the United States, be sure to include +1, the United States country code. Let's get started.
What about photo competitions? Photo competitions. I am sure you are well aware of them. Photography competitions are not scarce. Some might say there are too many, and it can be difficult to know which ones are worth taking notice of, but they can be the gateway to incredible opportunities. It is well worth taking time to enter competitions, but sometimes we just need that extra bit of encouragement, so listen on and hopefully you will see why it is such a good idea. Photography competitions get your work seen. Submitting to competitions gets your work seen by those working within the industry. A competition will most often have a judging panel that consists of professional photographers, magazine editors, gallery curators, photojournalists, agents, picture editors, and everything in between. As you begin to build a name for yourself as a photographer, it is important that you get your work seen by the right people, in order to build a reputation, and there is no telling how your work may impact any of those individuals. Clarification on your own photography work. Having to make judgments on your own work can be extremely difficult, but the selection process for a competition can be useful in clarifying which of your photographs you feel are better than others. Having to look through your own body of work for a competition is a great chance to take a step back and assess your portfolio somewhat objectively. You will be able to observe the progression you have made over time, and hopefully be able to see evidence of new techniques and abilities coming through in your shots. This wider overview will help you to judge your work and decide what you personally feel is good or bad, what could do with improving, and whether there are any techniques that you need to gain in order to progress. Selecting images in a similar vein to the previous point, the method of selecting your work can also develop your photographic eye to enable you to see what makes a strong image. In this scenario, you will have no choice but to over-analyze your own work and dissect images to decide whether you think they are strong enough for submission. Ensure that you do not just enter a world consisting of your own images. Ensure you are looking at other professionals' work to give you a solid understanding of what makes a strong image, and this will enable you to make a better judgment on your own work. Writing about your work. For me, as a writer and photographer, this is one of the most useful elements of entering a competition. In many cases, you will not only have to submit a set of photographs, but also brief written explanations about your work. This aspect can scare off many photographers as they are unsure how to express the elements of their work in words, but I find this process very valuable. It forces you to put your thoughts on the images into words, to analyze the process of taking them. Did you achieve what you set out to do with your images? How much control did you have over the elements within the photographs? It is important to choose your words carefully, especially if there is a word limit. Be sure not to repeat yourself, and try to clearly express your thoughts on the images without spewing out a lot of pretentious waffle, which is what I often end up doing, then deleting. Networking. If you manage to progress within a competition, you may well get the chance to meet the judging panel, and fellow photographers. This is a great chance to network, share ideas, and to discuss your work. Make sure that at any event such as this, you go prepared with business cards. Even if you are not successful, you still may have the opportunity to view other entrants' work online. This will give you a good idea of the standard of work being produced, and may even inspire further ideas for your own work. It may also be that you can interact with other entrants online, which is well worth doing, a great chance to build relationships with fellow photographers and share ideas, tips, successes, failures, and ask for advice for the future. It can open up opportunities of a lifetime. Competitions are not all about prizes. There is lots to be gained, without worrying about winning, but it may be that the grand prize offers you opportunities that you could have never anticipated. You may have the chance to exhibit your work, which is a privilege for any artist. You may be granted the chance to work alongside professionals, and gain experience, through time spent with them. You may simply receive some invaluable training, and inspiration, that otherwise may not have been financially viable. If you are really lucky, you will get to travel, and have the chance to take more incredible photos. Select your competitions carefully. There are such a vast amount of photography competitions out there, it is important that you select carefully the ones that you enter. Consider which are the ones that are worth your time. Do they suit the type of work that you are doing? Do not just think about the prize, although that can act as an incentive. You want to be able to commit time to cater for the competition's requirements, rather than just sending out the same stuff for everyone. It is also important to remember that some competitions require payment to enter. This is usually to cover administrative costs, but try to set up a regular budget for competition fees. Do not give away your rights to your photographs. It is absolutely essential to read the small print when entering competitions. Some competitions act simply as a photograph gathering exercise for the organizers, and it can be that upon submitting your images, you are actually handing over the copyright as well. Photographers should never hand over the copyright, unless the correct fee is agreed. So, ensure you read through the details before pressing send. Preparation for entry. Take your time with your entries. It is important to get it right, not only to ensure you are happy with your submission, but also to give you the best chance of getting your work noticed. Select the images carefully. If the brief requires a photo essay, then ensure that your images form a cohesive set. It may be the case that the brief is rather open-ended, in which case, choose a balanced selection of images. Do not just go for a best-of selection. If needed, get a second opinion from a trusted friend, or fellow photographer, to go over your shot selection, and written work before you send them off. Do not expect to hear back. Once I have entered a competition, I try and forget about it. This might sound fairly lazy, but it is an intentional decision not to get weighed down about not hearing back from competition organizers. No matter how great you think your work is, or how appropriate it was for the set brief, it is likely there are hundreds or thousands of entrants all thinking the same thing. For me, if I feel it is worth entering, I will take my time to construct my entry, then submit it, and then there is nothing more I can do. If the panel likes my work, then I will get a lovely surprise phone call, or email. If they do not, then I am okay with that. I just do not want the burden of expectation weighing me down, as I pin all my hopes on winning.
A genuine thank you for joining me today for this episode. If you are serious about success in the photography business, then I am serious and ready to help. Visit markpaulda.mentor.com and discover a variety of ways I can help you in your journey. If you have questions along the way, definitely email me. mark@markpaulda.com. You are also invited to join my photography success text community. Send me a text. 915-226-0959. If you are outside the United States, be sure to include +1, the United States country code. I will catch you in the next episode.